All right, gang, welcome to a very cold, damp, and a little dark December. Now, today, I don't think we're going to be selling any of our fish today. It is really the worst possible time to sell the fish. We will make no money, really, at all at this point. Well, we will, but it'll be such a small margin when we go back and buy more fish food that it's not even really worth our time to sell them right now. That's my personal opinion. So we're going to take a bit of a different path here, and we're not going to sell the fish for a couple of months. We are going to buy some more fish food today, and the way we're going to do that is by doing some contracts. Now, there are 3 cultivating contracts out here. We have yet to do a cultivating contract on the series, so we're going to do all 3 of these today. It's going to get us just slightly over $13,000, somewhere around in there. So it's going to be a decent amount. Basically all of that money is going to be put back into buying more fish food to be able to add to our aqua farm here and continue to make us some more fish. Now, we're not really going to be able to gain a whole lot as far as... looks like the sun's starting to come out a little bit. It's going to be a little bit brighter. It's not going to really allow us to, gain a whole lot of money in our bank account. But I think saving the fish here for a couple of months during the winter months and then selling them somewhere in the springtime, it's going to make us a lot more money. And then at that point, we likely, in the distance there, will be able to buy our soon-to-be farm plot that we desperately need right now. Still feeling a little under the weather, gang. I apologize for that, but actually, I don't even need that. I can just go ahead and borrow this, and we can just jump to it. So let's go ahead and borrow this, borrow items, and then I'm going to accept all of these contracts as well. We're going to do all of them. We want the best buck for our money, if you will. But yeah, I'm feeling still a little bit under the weather, gang. I apologize for that. This one's got the tracks on it. This is kind of nice. So I'm going to do everything I can here to try to make sure I continue, as we have in the past, to either edit out whenever I get any kind of coughing fit, if a coughing fit happens, or anything else for that matter. So I do apologize ahead of time, but I'm trying to work my way through it. It's a slow and steady process, but we're getting through it, I guess, one day at a time. It's getting better, hopefully. Other than that, things are relatively good, man. We're cruising along, if you will. New series is going to be released this week, actually this Saturday. I've mentioned this a number of times, so you're just going to have to bear with me if you've heard this spiel already, but in case you're new and stumbled across this video, we do have a new series coming out. It is going to be a multiplayer competitive one-tile challenge series. Now, the one-tile challenge series, I think, pretty unanimously, has been one of, if not the best series that I've ever done. It was very successful to the point where a lot of individuals who are much more successful in Farming Simulator than I am or ever will be took the challenge on in one way or another. So we're going to be doing that. Now, I'm going to be doing it with, really, for me, two of the guys I initially started watching on YouTube doing Farming Simulator, and that's really kind of what got me into the drive to, I guess, made my drive of wanting to make Farming Simulator videos. I had been making videos in the past on my second channel, which is down below, shameless plug, and I never did any kind of recording for Farming Simulator. Played the Farming Simulator games. One of my friends is the one that got me into it with Farming Simulator, actually 17, I think, or whatever that was. He got me into it at that point, but I was just playing casually, nothing crazy. And then I continued to play them and buy them and play them as they came out, and started to, really get into it. So, because of those reasons, I said, well, you know what? Watching these two individuals, and doing their recordings, and they were small-time YouTubers, and we really are, honestly, still. But I thought, you know what? I'm going to give it a shot. And so the two individuals I'm talking about, before I go any further, Rusty Money Gaming and Crustu. Most of you who probably watch my channel also watch their channels or are very familiar with their channels, one or the other. And yeah, so Crustu had came up with a 200 horsepower challenge that him and Rusty Money Gaming, I think, kind of were the first two people that I saw taking it on. And I was there pretty early on. I think I was one of the first people to also just jump in and say I'm going to take it on, and that series, I think Crestu would argue, is probably one of his best series he's ever done as far as, just involvement, right? People being involved with it and wanting to take that challenge on. So, I was watching that and decided I would take on Farming Simulator at that point and kind of go from there. And so because of that reason, since my one tile challenge was so successful, I decided let's see if I can figure out a way to do a competitive multiplayer version of that one tile challenge. And that's kind of what we did. Oh, I almost got drilled by the train there. That's kind of what we did, right? So that's what's going to be coming out this Saturday, and I decided to do it with those two individuals specifically because they're the ones that really got me into doing the recording of Farming Simulator, and just to kind of give back a little bit to them and get them involved and see if we can make a very successful, fun series between the three of us. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I've never really done a multiplayer challenge series of any sort, so this is kind of new for me. I definitely have played multiplayer Farming Simulator with a friend of mine that I've explained multiple times, got me into playing Farming Simulator way back, many years ago, but he doesn't do any recordings or anything like that, and he really doesn't have a whole lot of time anymore either, so it's very rare, far and few between that I actually get the chance to play any Farming Simulator with him, but we have definitely done the multiplayer, so it's going to be fun, man. I guess that's what I'm trying to get at. It's going to be a fun one. It's going to be a good series. There is a post that I made. Let's see. It would have been on Saturday. So 2 days ago, at the time this recording should be released. It kind of gives you details. To the nth degree, it tells you everything we're doing, right? What kind of loan we're starting with and what the kind of the rules are and everything else. It's also got an image to kind of go with it that I crafted up. I believe, if they don't do it, that's fine, but I believe Rusty Money Gaming and Crestu are also going to utilize that same image and probably a similar type of post that I did. I think I'm the first one that's going to have it released of the three of us, but nonetheless, I think they're going to be doing the same kind of thing. Kind of advertise it, right, a little bit, and that's why I've been bringing it up so many times here over the last couple of episodes from this series and any series for that matter, is just due to the fact that, I want it to be successful. Excuse me. I want it to be successful, and I want all of you to check it out and provide your input, right? Like I said, it's the first time I've ever done a multiplayer challenge series on Farming Simulator, so it's definitely going to be, a new thing for me. So if we're doing something wrong, or I think the other guys have done some, but I haven't. So, but if I'm doing something wrong or we're doing something wrong, you just let us know, right? And we'll try to fix it. And it's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be a very difficult challenge. It's all on hard difficulty. Some of the things we've kind of incorporated are also going to make it more difficult for us as well. We have very limited mods. Reason for that is just solely because Crestu, Rusty Money Gaming, and myself, right? We all have different things installed, and we want to try to make sure that we don't have to go and install a bunch of stuff that we might be utilizing for other series. Now, the nice thing about me right now is the Vintage Survival series is coming to a close soon. I'm thinking it probably will still be running by the time the first series of the competitive one tile challenge comes out. But it's going to be close to being finished around that time period. So when that happens, I will have the luxury of being able to remove quite a number of mods if needed to install anything else for that series. Just based solely on the fact of this series right now, we're not really utilizing any major mods here at all yet. Besides that fertilizer spreader, everything else is really kind of stock. And I guess our tractor. But other than that, everything else is just kind of out-the-box vanilla or DLC stuff. So nothing crazy there as far as, having to uninstall or reinstall mods or anything like that. So I think it's going to be very helpful once that happens, once the Vintage Survival series ends, because I can remove quite a number of the mods that I do have installed. Not all of them, for sure. I definitely want to keep some of them, and I've already mentioned that on that series, that there might be a little bit of crossover there with a couple of the mods that I just have really enjoyed that I want to try to incorporate with the one-tile challenge, the competitive one-tile challenge, because it is obviously a competition. I don't know who's going to win that competition. Like I've mentioned before, I don't think it'll be me, but who knows? I'm going to also try to incorporate a bit of, it's not anything to like write home about or anything like that, but a bit of decoration, if you will, and just landscaping and trying to make things look better. It's going to, take away a little bit from probably the money we can make, but it's okay. I want it to look at least relatively presentable around our yard for this series. I don't want to just be focused so much on just trying to make as much money as humanly possible. I still want it to look good. I want it to feel like a farm. So I will be spending, and probably, I guess, wasting is probably the right answer, or the right word, a little bit of the money that we could otherwise keep to try to make sure that everything looks good, if that makes sense. Man, that train has gone by. That's the third time I think I've seen it go by. Man, that train is flying by here. Or there's just multiple trains, I guess, but it looks exactly the same as the one that just went by that I almost ran into. Huh. Okay, so it wants me to go that way, which is interesting. That is not what I expected. I thought they would want me to go this way. It doesn't really seem to make a whole lot of sense to me why it wants me to go that way. I guess it's white. I guess it's further that way up there, I guess. I don't know, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Anyway, how's everyone doing? I hope you're doing well. Things are pretty good, man. As I mentioned, they're pretty good. I've been spending a lot of effort on trying to get this one-tile challenge series up and running. Haven't felt the greatest, and I know I've mentioned this as well, but I'm going to mention it again here. I am behind on getting some replies to everyone in the comments. I do read all of them. I do reply to every single person. I know it's delayed. I know I'm behind. I mentioned I was out of, town just briefly for an extended weekend watching the nieces with my wife. So I had no access to my computer or anything like that. Now, I could probably have done it on the phone, but really, I wanted to kind of focus on the girls, really, the nieces. So, I will get to each and every single. I guess what I'm trying to get at is I will get to each and every single one of you in the comments you've made. I promise you, I will get to you. It'll be. Well, actually, now it might. You know what? I probably would have all of them replied to by the time this episode's released, or around all of them, or most of them, I guess is how I should say it. Because this weekend, I don't think I have anything major going on this weekend, the past weekend. So I should, hopefully, have been able to respond to all of them. Hopefully things have calmed down a little bit now that I've, racked my brain with all of the series for the competitive one-tile challenge, and then got back from watching the nieces and, the sickness and everything else. There's just been a lot going on. So hopefully this statement I'm talking about of replying to all your comments, hopefully it's just null and void. It doesn't matter because I've already replied to you. But nonetheless, I still want to apologize and tell you that I promise you I will reply to each and every single one of you. Life, sickness, working on a new series, work, things get in the way, right? They get in the way. So I apologize, but I promise you I will get you replied. I will reply to each and every one of your comments if I have yet to do so. It will happen. All right, with all that said, I rambled on for quite a while there. I apologize for rambling on for so long. This track here is kind of sliding all over the place, but we are making it work. We're making it work. We're 50% done with the cultivating of this field. This is the large field, I'm pretty sure. I think it's the biggest one. It's 5.94 acres after this quick save's done. It is, but the other one is quite large too. So we got a long ways to go. But this is going to be good money, right? This is after this we do this amount here. We do this amount. I can't talk. After we finish the contracts here, that is going to provide us with a lot of money for us to be able to utilize to buy some more fish food. Now, I'm probably going to buy more fish food than I think I've ever purchased. What does that mean? Well, it does mean that we are going to have less money in the account. We know I kind of was saving a little bit of that money for a while, but I think I'm going to buy a ton this time. With us not actually going and selling, any of the fish anytime soon, we know for a fact we're going to have to wait a little bit before we're able to buy that land that we want to purchase. So because of that, and with the understanding, knowing that if I do purchase more fish food and have more fish food in there, that your yield does increase slightly, I think I would prefer to go that path where I try to get that slight yield increase since we're going to store the fish anyway for the time being. And let's see if we can make a little bit more money when the time comes to actually be able to sell them for a decent price. Now, what I will admit to you is, are we going to wait until it's actually absolutely the best time to sell them? No, we're not. We're not going to do that. But we are going to outweight the winter months here when it is just terrible to sell them. You're only going to make a couple $1,000s for, all the work you did with all of that fish food. For buying 5 or 6 pallets, you're only going to make $1,000 or $2,000. I want to make a significant amount more than that. So that's how we're going to do it. I mentioned early on in this series, it's going to be a lot of contracts because really we don't have any land of our own, right? The only thing we own is that Skyefin Aquafarm, which when I first bought it from the city, as I mentioned before, I really thought that it came with the land it was sitting on, and it doesn't. So we're not allowed to actually do anything with that land. After I went and talked to the city, and they said, nope, you are not allowed to put anything there. You're allowed to store stuff there if you want to, but you are not allowed to place anything down. That is our land. You just bought the aqua farm specifically. That is all you own from that, which was a little unfortunate. It's a little disappointing, right? I would have loved to have been able to own all of that land around it. Now, would we have been able to do a whole lot with it? No, not really, but there are some things we could have done, right? We could have put down maybe a greenhouse. Obviously, we could have put down a little house for ourselves so we're not sleeping with the fishes, which is what we've been doing. There are things we could have done, some generator type of things, sure, if we want to. Not anything crazy, because I don't want to go overboard on that, but it would have been nice, if the city said, yeah, it's your land, you're allowed to use it, but they didn't, so here we are, right? Here we are. So I might have got taken advantage of a little bit, but I think in the long run, we're going to be okay. I think in the long run, we're going to make a lot of money off that aqua farm. So I think it's all right. So I've rambled on for, good Lord, I've rambled on for almost 17 minutes now. I've evidently had a lot to talk about today, and I'm lucky that I haven't had a coughing fit or anything since that process. So I better go ahead and start working on getting this done and take a drink or whatever. So hopefully this doesn't manifest into a massive coughing fit that I have to stop. So let me get to work here. We'll get this field done, and we'll head on up and do field 34 and 47, which I think are pretty far away. Yeah, they are. They are far away. Yeah, we're probably going to have to go up this way again and around, I think. That's probably the best way to do it, I would think, right? This path here still doesn't make any sense to me, why we're going this way with it. But what do I know? I don't know. I'm just your Joe Schmo Farming Simulator guy. What do I know? All right, well, we are moving along well. I don't know if you caught that, and I don't know if I'm going to remember to do this during the edit or not, but that bus, like, just did a massive jump up on top when we were going towards that smaller field. I think at this point now, we've almost hit every section, at least part of every section of the map, and it you know, it really hasn't, there hasn't been anywhere that I have been unimpressed with. I even liked that area with that small little field we just did. It's pretty flat. There wasn't really a whole lot to it, but I just like the trees around it, and up there on the hill is pretty nice. I think the only area we really haven't been a whole lot into is down in this vicinity, really. But I'm sure we'll get there at some point. Took us quite a while to do both of those fields, though. That was well, we're going to speed it up, so it won't be that bad, but recording-wise, it was almost 25 minutes, so it was pretty long. We have done this field in the past. It is a very large field, so this is going to take us a while to do as well, but that's okay. Also, something that I don't think I've ever noticed if they've done it in any other map, but in this map at least, they've got Christmas decorations up already. There's a Christmas tree in this little village here. It might be a little controversial here, but I think it's a little too early for Christmas decorations. I'm one of those no Christmas decorations until after Thanksgiving has happened, but I know a lot of people don't, and a lot of people start putting Christmas up immediately after Halloween, but yeah. Still, it was kind of cool, though. I mean, I don't think they were here the last recording we did, so obviously that has been updated in the actual game itself. Hopefully, with that update as well, they fixed some of the gate issues that we kind of ran into in the past. I don't know if they did. I did not look at the notes, the release notes, but hopefully that was resolved too. But yeah, we're moving along, man. We're moving along well here. We've got all of this still to do. It is going to take us a while, as mentioned, and then we'll be able to buy some of that fish food and take it back, and we'll see. Now, I don't know if any other cultivating contracts have popped up or not. I'm not sure I specifically want to do any more cultivating contracts, but if there is one maybe on the way back towards, and not that we need to drive this anywhere after this point, but if there is one kind of going closer to the shop or wherever, maybe we'll look into it. There is not. There's harvesting, plowing, wood transport, and dead wood. And I think next month is going to be a very similar situation where we're going to have very little to do. It's probably going to be cultivating or dead wood type. I'm very surprised there's actually even a barley contract out there. You know, because you're not really supposed to harvest barley right now. So it's a little weird, but, you know, whatever. You got to wonder with that little village there how long this field will actually be here for before it'll be turned into houses, just like this one. But it's a nice field. It's really flat. Got the rock wall behind you, some mountains in the background. It's got a pretty view. But you would just think that this would be an area that would be turned into more housing, rows of housing at some point. So I'm not going to do another time lapse here. We'll just do a bit of a jump cut here. I'm going to get some more of this field done, and I'll be back with you once we get a little bit closer here to finishing this one up. And yeah, we'll kind of go from there as far as what's next, which is obviously going to be the fish food, unless another contract comes out for cultivating between now and then. All right, well, we're nearly done here, gang. We're at 92%, about to be 93% here. And yeah. Pretty much one more, maybe two more passes, and we're done with this thing, which will be nice, right? Not sure if we're even going to have to do the second pass here. I would suspect by the time we get down here towards the end. Actually, it expands down there. Never mind. I was going to say, I don't think we're even going to have to do the next pass, but we might have to do a little bit of it. The stomach's growling. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not, but I'm getting pretty hungry. I'm going to have to get some food here in a minute. 96%. We're going to go get some fish food, and then I will eventually get some food for myself as well. Just a tiny bit here, and we're done. Perfect. All right, so we can go ahead and turn these in. I didn't see any other, there's not any other contracts pop up, so we'll go ahead and, turn these in. Gets us to 47,000, that's pretty nice. So we're going to head on up to the shop here with our case and our trailer and get some more fish food. Now, I'm going to go ahead and buy the fish food right now, because why not? Is there anything in here for us? Not really. Not really, no. Maybe the mower, but I don't think we even really need that either. Alright, so the fish food, which I think is under food here. There it is. 8 of them is going to cost us $18,200. And I'm going to grab, let's grab 4 more. It's quite a lot. Puts us all the way down to 16,000, so it's quite a lot, but I think with the next episode, hopefully we'll find some more contracts, and maybe those contracts can get us back closer to 30,000 or around the amount we started with today. This is going to be helpful, though, man. We're going to make a lot of fish out of this. It's going to produce us a lot of money, which is going to be good, right? Well, that's like a completely different person just did all that stacking. Now, I know they don't look the greatest right now. It's because I unstrapped them on accident while we were moving, so they shifted. But when I stacked them up there, it looked like a completely different person from the last episode when I couldn't stack anything to save my life. Well, that at least makes me feel a little bit better about myself. Anyway, we were able to get them all back here in one piece. They're all within, well, quick autosave here, but I was going to show it to you. They're all within the Aquafarm now, so now it's just a matter of the process of making the fish from there. Get over here, up here, boom, there we go. So we almost have a full amount in there, so this should, in theory, according to if everything goes smoothly like it says, it should make us more fish. There is this option which gives us more, so we could technically make more at a quicker rate, but I don't really think we necessarily need to right now. We'll monitor it and see how things go, but right now I don't think we need to make them at a faster rate because, well, quite frankly, we don't have a whole lot of money to be able to continue to put in there to make them, to keep up with how fast they're going to be going. But nonetheless, we are going to leave the episode there. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, as always, smash the like and subscribe button on the case you have yet to do so. Thanks so much to my members. Could I thank you guys enough? We'll see you in the next one.